We're going to go ahead. We have some reoccurring faces, and we have some haven't seen you in a while faces, and we have a new face, and all those types of things. So we will get to there, but where did I first want to start out here? I printed my notes, and then I didn't go get it off the printer. That was awesome. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start and give a little background of where we're at. We will get to a recap in a short moment. But what we're going to start with is some strange, at least strange for this planet, not character, is in front of a mayor and trying to just check in with kind of the city ordinance because they are traveling. It's their first time traveling outside of their planet. They decided they want to be an explorer of some sort. So, Finny, you are currently on the first planet that you've ever visited outside of Antalis, which is your home world. You are on Helixia, and you are standing in front of a mayor, trying to check in.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Oh, like,
yeah. But
anybody have a map? I'm a little lost.
how many? This is strange for this land. 2 in one day. 2 in a day. What are you?
What am I?
Just curious.
What do you mean, what am I? I'm old. My character is...
You just don't look normal. And you're standing in front of... You're standing out in front of the mayor, who is a slimy creature, looks like a large slug or snail-like creature with hints of a head that looks kind of like a toad or a frog.
I look weird. No, you look weird. And you need to, like, learn some manners. And I'll stomp away. Obviously, so I'll need to find help from someone else.
Manners. I'll have to look up manners. So, yeah, you think you need to check in, but you don't. At least that's what everybody told you to do, is talk to the mayor. The mayor does not give a crap about anything that's going on.
Right. I'll need to find help somewhere else.
Help with what? I don't know. Manners. Who cares? He falls back asleep, basically, with his toad frog snore. Kind of sounds like something we heard right before stream. Yeah. So, you're headed off out of the mayor's office to Swoop. This character that you guys haven't seen for a long minute is in some city, somewhere, some planet in Solar System 8. Just leaving the bar. And it's probably about noon.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's where I'm going to place you guys at the beginning of what we're going on right now. So as we come into here, we're going to do a recap of last episode. Since Finny and To Swoop were not part of last week, it's up to one of you three. Switch, Carrington, or Brucon.
I did the last one. Kind of, technically.
I did the one before.
Yeah, you read Switch.
1, 2, 3.
He read Switch's dissertation on.
Jim's like,
Brucon's. He's done one before too. Either it doesn't matter which one. Whoever feels like
heard
last
my own.
episode.
We can all do it if we want.
I'll do it.
we can interject if necessary.
Yeah, my notes might be a little spotty, but so in last week's Turgid episode, We received information from the missing teammate Jace that the way back is through a jump portal in Solar System 8. We boarded the planet with our new crewmate, Lord Carrington, who's big. And the ship took us where it wants to take us, and we got essentially sucked down to the planet Alexia, which is part of Solar System 8. So our ship, I would say crashed, but more like splutted into a big muddy bog, which kind of stuck us there. The crew members disembarked and headed towards what looked like a fairly medium to high technology city. Most of the city was all approximately the same age, same technology, but there was one long tower, big tower, which seemed to be emanating this periodic electromagnetic pulse, which we believed was part of this homing beacon, which brought us down, but also probably the portal to take us back home. We talked to a local and were instructed that, hey, everybody talks to the mayor. We learned that it wasn't unusual for other ships to have gone through something very similar to what we did, basically getting brought down against their will. And then everybody ends up talking to the mayor. So we make our way to the center of town, which is where this tower is, and right next door is City Hall, I guess you'd say. We go and talk to the mayor, and all the people, or creatures, I guess you'd say, on this planet are seem to have been evolved from slugs / snails, very kind of slug-like in appearance, but they're bipedal. They still like walk, but they're, obviously the architecture is designed with that in mind. So steps are very, very shallow because they don't take big steps. So in talking with the mayor, we were left with the impression that they're not too terribly bright. They have next to no motivation to figure anything out or to solve problems.
They are quite possibly the most boring civilization in existence.
I concur.
Right, they were extremely underwhelming as far as new life forms go, and didn't really seem to care that much about us. We were more than invited to go kind of look at whatever we wanted to, because apparently they hadn't even done that. So let's see what else. Oh, so the slugs are about 4.5 or about 4 to 5 feet tall, around 200 pounds. The mayor's name is Tagoth. My last note was mayor and all slugs are stupid AF. So
I think that about
after that note,
sums it up.
we decided, let's go poking around. So we head over to this tower, which I believe is like mostly like kind of old, like much ancienter, of a different age than the rest of the architecture. And we make our way into a wall, and it's a large spiraling staircase down around the inside perimeter of this big tower. We go down, several rotations and eventually get to the bottom, which is really just kind of like a level where mud and muck has seeped up into. For whatever reason, we decided to just start walking into it. We put on our hip waders and go in, and there seems to be some sort of sentience to this mud, like it was actively resisting us. And we encountered a voice who, I don't remember if it identified itself, but it indicated that there were some artifacts that it was holding, and that we were now to commence battle to retrieve said artifacts. And it seemed to be looking forward to it, like it was bored.
Mucky Muck.
So
Yes.
Wasn't his name Mucky Muck?
yeah, that's where we ended. The monkey
The
book.
attack of the Mucky Muck. Sure,
Yeah,
I love
and
anything.
if I remember correctly, I think Switch walked in first, or was it? And then T4 Cole was directly behind Switch, walking into the mucky muck. And yes,
But
Mucky
Lord
Muck's
Carrington is riding on Drukon's shoulder, along
Yes.
with his aphid.
Aphid.
Yeah,
The
Carrington.
giant ass aphid.
If nobody hasn't with the like to swoop
an oxymoron.
and Finny, you will come in contact with these folks, and then we can describe these characters. The swoop knows two of them, but one of them's gonna be a little different. So yes, Mucky Muck. As you two, Switch and T4 are walking into the muck. It has like a resistance of walking, like it's trying to pull your feet down. So it becomes it's just a little bit harder to move down the stairs. And it announces itself as like, "Hi, I'm the Mucky Muck, protector of the ancient, keeper of the artifact. Blah blah blah. I'm so happy you guys are here. Let's play our game. It's called Find the Artifact." This is kind of how we ended our last one. Let's find the artifact. Let's play a game. The game is you try and find the artifact, and I kill you. Anybody? Anybody?
That is when I pulled out my shotgun to shoot
And-
it. I think that's where we stopped.
Yeah, and everybody was basically getting to the ready of what the hell. At that time, Switch and T4, you two, I would like you to do I think a spirit roll. I think that would be good
Yeah, okay.
for a robot.
Looking for. I'm trying to find my spirit.
You roll a
There it is.
D4 and a D6.
D6. Yeah. Okay. I just found it. 2 on the 4 and a 6 on the 6.
Oh, so re-roll the 6.
Right. Dose.
So 8 total. So you doubled the challenge, and you seem to be fine. Like something was attacking your electrical system of some sort, and you could feel it like trying to drain your battery. So what you did to get rid of that was rerouted your power internally, because you're a much more modern robot. So you just rerouted it inside so it could not attack that part. So you know what it was doing.
Feel right.
It's what it felt like.
That felt weird. Cool.
So that's happening to you. You feel the rerouting of it. It's kind of a spark inside, a tingle up your spine if you had one. And
I have a spine. Who are you saying doesn't have a spine?
robots?
I have a spine.
Oh, I didn't know you were built exactly like a human.
Not a unibody?
I'm more fancy than these other bots.
That's why you seem to be
Jim,
able to
I just read
reroute. It's not as analog wired. What happens behind you is as T4, if I'm not mistaken, has a katana, right? Goes to pull out the katana.
Yeah.
It doesn't open, and you see the battery drain, and he stop in place and cannot move. And you would know what's going on behind you. You see him with, basically he just completely powered down,
Okay.
standing behind you. At this point, we will take you three and we will do initiative, because now we have to do something. All right? We have to do something.
We have to do something with the mucky muck.
Something.
I agree.
Because
It's attacked
it's
by
attacking
this
your
muck-
power. You two, being a carrot and a cat, you don't have, there's no power inside of you per se. So, all right, just 3 of you. So we're giving Marvin, you have a 10.
Hey.
10. And we'll go Brucon, 7. And then Switch, a 2. So, it's going to go. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I can lay these out. And since there was already attack, in a sense, from the Mucky Muck, this will be Carrington's turn.
And Carrington pulls the visor down on his plate helmet, which fits to his head. If it's battle you wish, Muck Demon, then battle you shall have. And he jumps on Sydney. Come, Sydney. We have a demon to slay. And then they jump off Brucon's shoulder and try to drive their lance straight into the muck. Because that's what Lord Carrington does.
And as we pan out, we see a cat about to enter the mucky muck, and a carrot who is on top of a large aphid jump off of a cat's shoulder. This is just looking at the panned out scene. With sword in hand. Is it a sword?
A lance.
A lance. Kind of looks like, yeah. So he jumps off. All I could think of is joust. Is as he jumps off and goes towards the mucky muck. Go ahead and roll your lance attack.
Right.
I would like to point out just how well trained that aphid must be to jump that far just because it was told to.
That's a
That's
royal.
really
aphid.
incredible
Very faithful.
as far as
All the
aphids
faith.
go.
So for lance, I think since I'm riding Sydney, it's like riding for an attack.
Yeah, it's your. It's a D8.
Right. So I roll a D8 and a D6.
Yes.
So it's a 3 and a 3 on both.
Well, that's fitting. For a lance. So as you hop out there, it's more of a small splash, in like a thick pudding than anything. So when you hit, but the cool thing is you have an aphid. So you're on top of an aphid. So the aphid is doing well at hitting like a almost a cannonball while you're riding, and it blops out, but the aphid is decently resilient and buoyant, so you can be still on top, sitting on top of the muck as the muck is starting to pull the aphid down just a little bit, but can't quite pull all of it down because of its what an aphid is. So it was a great attempt. Next up would be Brucon.
Yeah. Okay. So Brucon is not in the muck, right?
No, you guys were just about to. You were following T4, and you saw T4 shut down in front of you. Stop.
Right.
Switch. Made a strange, like, this doesn't feel right. And then your carrot and aphid on your shoulder just popped off and jumped in.
Right. And went bloop.
Yep.
Well, okay. I'm gonna grab T4 Cole because it appears something bad happened to him when he went at the muck. So I'm just gonna grab him and haul him out to get out of the muck. I guess that would be my first instinct.
Okay. I'd say it's probably a strength in that one. Do a strength check. Trying to be as helpful as possible and pulling up all your guys' stats as we're going, because I know this is a different system than we normally do. Your strength.
So it's just the D4 for
Yeah,
me.
D4 and a D6 though.
Yep. All right. 6.
6. Very well. Without much resistance, since the aphid is basically has its own little perch on top. It's almost like a leaf on top of a pond. Has that sitting on top of the carrot. You just kind of just pluck it right off as it with your quick reactions, cat-like reflexes. Grabbing it off as it almost just like made that blop sound, and you just knew what to do. So safe in your hand, full of a little muck dripping off of the aphid butt. Do the aphids have butts? I think they do.
They have abdomens.
Yeah, so they must have a butt. So as the muck is dripping off of the butt of the aphid, Switch realizes what's going on, and your friends behind you, T4 is now battery drained, and you can tell because you felt it. So you know what happened to T4, but the two others behind you not finding any way out of this. Yes.
Hey, I didn't know if that was like, now it's your turn. I was waiting for the. Okay. Since I know what's going on, can I counter hack it? Is it like susceptible to that?
You can
since
always
it's now
try
been in my brain?
anything. You do know that this is not necessarily a robotic or synth. It's more of a power. It's drawing power from you. That's it's not trying to hack into you, nothing to that effect. It's literally just pulling power from your system.
Okay. Then seeing that Brucon got T4 out of harm's way.
We got carrot. Got the carrot out.
No, I thought
You
you,
got
I thought
T4
you pulled
or the carrot?
T4. I thought you pulled T4 because he was.
Yeah, I pulled T4 out.
Oh, gotcha.
I
Okay.
saw him shut down.
So the carrot's still riding the wave.
Lord
the aphid.
Carrington would protest to being manhandled that way.
So rewind that then. All right. We won't talk about aphid butts till next round.
Guys are killing me.
Just wait till we get on the pun roll.
This is just so invested.
So yeah, see what you've missed. Okay. Knowing that it was a power drain, then would Switch instinctively know how to counter that? I guess is my question.
You know how to protect yourself from it. Within your system, because you rolled so well, you double succeeded last time. So you understand that as long as you keep rerouting your power on a consistent basis while this is around, that it can't find purchase to pull all of it for you.
But as far as like destroying it, I think if I didn't instinctively know what that was, then I would use the only, my one trick pony that I got, which is if I can't hack it, then I'm going to try to blow it up with my shotgun. So I will do that, and I will pull my shotgun off my shoulder and try to blow it in its head and see if that works. And I rolled a 1 on my D4.
Did you roll a
Wait,
D6?
for tax? No, I didn't. Oh, I rolled. Yes, shotgun works so well. I rolled a 2 on my 6.
Okay. So as you pull it out, you see everything going on. T4 is in safety. A small aphid with a carrot riding a wave, and you pull
become normal.
Yeah,
clearly.
and the new normal. So takes a shot at the muck because there's nothing to find. You can all you do is hear the sound and hear the voices. You're still in the muck. So as you fire, you rolled a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
So you got a 2. Okay.
Yeah. So
you do hit it, and it does cause some rippling to go in there. So I would say, Carrington, I think you'd have to roll like an agility at this point.
Because the ripples, like
because it did cause quite a bit of ripples. To you, it might be a wave.
Surf, boy, surf.
Yeah. So yours would be an agility. Oh, it's just pretty good. You have a D8 and a D6, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So roll.
He could ride side saddle.
Oh, he's on the
agility should be
side
good.
saddles. Yeah.
I rolled a 3 and a 3 again.
All right. So you are bucked off of your aphid, and you have found the muck to be a lot grosser than you thought it was.
This is not mere soil.
No, this is not your soil back in your quarters on the ship. It is definitely not that soil. So you are sitting in there, so it's a little bit disgusting. It probably will make Brucon tell you to take a shower later. You're a little grimy, but you're doing okay. Carrots are not great swimmers, but you are Sir Carrington, so you have had Lord Carrington at this point. You are able to tread water or tread muck for the time being. As you all are trying to find some way to get out or get rid of this thing, it does rear some sort of formed body. So from the center, as you guys are walking around in the center, not tentacles, but you see the muck starts to take form into long tentacle-like, but you can see that they're sharp on the end. At least the muck is sharp. And then you see the purchase of like a large oval head being in the middle as it pops up and goes to take care of you guys by going, I'm the Mucky Muck. I'm the protector of the ancient, keeper of the artifact. You guys are just supposed to die. As that's occurring, there's this other cat creature. Every couple blocks or so, finding a place to lean, holding back some of the liquor that she's had that morning. Whew, and turns around and I'd like, at this point, you're about 50 feet away from this occurrence to swoop. But I would like for you to, let's see, to roll a, I don't know if I want to say smarts, because you're not super intoxicated, but you're pretty intoxicated.
It is an obligation of mine.
Yes, I think a smarts. Let's roll smarts,
Roll smart. Okay.
please. And your smarts
one would it be?
is a D6 and a D6, 2 D6s, and pick the higher one.
Double 6.
Okay. The cool thing is take one of those sixes and roll it again.
6.
Roll it again.
5.
Okay, so you're at a 17 at this point, correct? All those added together.
Yeah.
17. You are noticing you're shaking off the liquor. Going at first, you're like, "This is a cool one," because sometimes you see things. Things are
yeah.
a little blurry, but this one you're like, "No, I think this one's real." And yes, you're seeing a large entity. You don't see the other things. They're kind of walking down into this hole, but this entity that pops up, you can see its head rearing and stuff coming out, and you can hear the voice saying that I'm protector of the ancient, keeper of the artifact. You're just supposed to die. You can hear that in your own language, kind of in your head, and that's what you see in front of you. As Finny, you're leaving, going, "Good God, this is the dumbest conversation I've ever had with another being."
Can't believe I started my great exploration of the world here. I need to rethink my life decisions, obviously.
It's like you just pointed on a map of the universe and went, "Okay, I'll just go there," and this is where you ended up. So, but you are like kind of walking away from this. This is the dumbest thing ever. You do, while you're walking and kind of frustrated, going, "Hey, I need to find a way back, maybe back off this planet, go to another place." You walk by and you see kind of a drunk-ish cat on the wall, leaning over, kind of rethinking life as they're looking up at this entity, and you just like, whatever, stuff is too weird. But if you want to say something while you're walking by, that's up to you.
Buddy, you okay? You need some water? Ibuprofen? Something?
Water for the week.
Ah,
For the week. Not bad.
And
Yeah,
at
this is normal.
And at this point, you guys can describe each other's character to each other, telling them what they see.
Okay. Well, I am a tall, very muscular aquarium. I'm a fish person. I have huge green fins coming out and seaweed-like hair wrapped in a very practical bun. At first glance, I look like a very tough man. No, wait, kind of a woman. No, wait, I just don't take care of myself.
And to Swoop, what does Finny see?
I'm kind of tall for a half folk, and I have like shaved down sides and the shoulder length middle part, gray eyes, my nose crooked because it's been broken a lot. My real name's Leary, but I go by Swoop. And but you see me as a just kind of I get into a lot of.
All right, you look like just the fun I've been looking for. Okay, hi, my name's
Blast.
Finny. I'm trying to rediscover myself in the universe, and I have a feeling that the reason I ended up on this god-awful planet was to meet you. You're going to give me the excitement in my life that I've been looking for.
That's what you want to call it. Let's party.
Party.
Do it. Yeah.
I've never actually been to a party. I'm already in my 40s, and I think, if I'm ever going to start partying, it should be now, before I'm too old.
You're in luck because I just heard something about someone dying, and that sounds like a damn good time to me. So if you're ready, you want to go check this out.
Is dying like the new term for like cool, like thingy?
Yeah!
All right, let's go.
go!
Let's go.
You do turn around, and that's what you notice is the Swoop is kind of leaning over as a half folk and just kind of leaning over with the drink in hand and looking up at this thing going, maybe that's something we should check out while you're having your conversation of, man, my life is going somewhere and you could be part of it. But behind you, while Swoop is not really looking you in the eye, is still looking at this big creature behind you as you're explaining your new adventure and trying to find yourself, and you're part of my life now, and we could be best friends, and that's the cinematic of it, is you're having that conversation while there's a very large, black, gross, slimy creature rearing its head out of underneath the tower. All right.
Hey, you guys, can we get some help with this thing?
Oh, you don't see any of this.
Damn it! But don't I hear the ee and the ee? Can't I hear that? Can't it roll a perception check? Ee! Okay, maybe not. Just saying.
You might be preoccupied at this point. So,
I'm watching the carrot surf.
Yes, riding the wave out and
Sorry, dude.
losing his mount.
Detective.
Not my intention.
So as you go forward, I think we're going to have the Mucky Muck come at you guys. So
Start of initiative.
yeah, this is we're at the Mucky Muck. So the Mucky Muck is as it rears out, and it does try and it's basically what it's trying to do is snag Brucon, because Brucon's the only one I think at this point that's not actively touching the muck. So it's going to try and pull you inside the
This touching muck is gross.
Yes, and that's why you have not gotten in there yet. Even when you took out T4, you made sure that you got none on you. It was very like, oh, I don't want that. So let's go ahead and... What is your parry, Brucon?
Parry.
Yeah, you should have a parry stat. Let's see. Your parry is 2. You have a pace of 5, parry of 2, and a toughness of 5. So, you do not escape this. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does grab you, wrap around you with the muck, and it's slimy coming down your nice suit, and just kind of just slowly pulls you in as you're trying to hold on, clawing at whatever you can to stop, but you just enter the edge of the muck.
This just will not do.
That's his turn. Now you do see, now that the Mucky Muck has offended Brucon, not hurt you, but deeply offended Brucon, pulled you inside. That's when you could probably, let's just roll notice for Switch, Carrington, and Brucon. Just everybody roll a notice. Because to Swoop and Finny, you guys did decide to go, hey, there's a party over there. Right? If that's how to Swoop was looking at it, Finny's like, okay, I guess that's what party means.
It's a party.
15.
Oh, jeez.
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Wait. Six? Yeah.
6. Okay.
6.
So,
Plus my 6, yeah.
Carrington, you're just trying to tread muck at this point and not
And
drown,
get back
in
to
a sense.
Sydney.
Yeah, you're just trying to get back onto your aphid. It's kind of like a jet ski that's just kind of doing loops, and you're trying to get back on it. And Switch, you do notice, you do hear that small little giddy laugh, and you do look up and you see two little heads just kind of poking over the edge to see what the hell is going on down there. Brucon, you notice a fish creature, because I don't know if would you have come across any sort of fish creature before? Like anybody that can swim? Okay. So you'd see a fish-like creature up there, and you rolled so well, you're noticing that's what they are. You've just never seen them before, but you are noticing it has the fish-like scales and well, not really. It's more of a blue skin. But Brucon, but you will notice, holy crap! I know that cat. That cat. But it's the halfling, half folk, one that took the escape pod from the HAL ship about over a year ago. Doing that, too.
Yes.
Going like, what's up?
Hello. We're a little busy. How about some help?
Oh, I thought
Unless
you
you'd
wanted
like to go do something else for a couple years.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah,
Girls' Day, Boys' Day.
And
Whatever.
Brucon's yelling that while he's slowly being drugged into the muck. Hey,
Going in for a hug.
nice seeing you.
Looks like have a great time.
Mud party! I'm so in. I'll dive in after him, thinking that this is, a cool party. Unaware that there's danger.
Lord Carrington just thinks that his companions are in the midst of battle, and that's what all that yelling is.
It's
The fog of war.
just another
Hold on,
war.
my
Just
companions.
another battle. But
I'll stroll over.
But there is this big, giant, tentacled muck monster in front of us. Correct.
oh yeah, there's
it's
that.
fun. It's all good. It's fun.
But you're gonna hop like right into the muck and dive.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. My poor little uncultured self.
Do an agility roll for me, please, Finny.
Righty then.
Should be a D6 and a D8.
Okay, a D6 and a D8 put together.
No,
I got
just
it.
choose one or the other.
Oh, okay.
Which one's
Yeah,
the
no, I
highest?
got a 1. I got a 1
On which
Oh.
one?
on a D8.
What about the D6?
Alright, let me try the D6. That'd be a 3. The dice don't love me today. That's fine. We'll see what
So
happens.
the dive, doesn't look. You've done better in life, especially being somebody who can live in water and live in liquids. It could have been a lot better. So as you jump in, you kind of you skip your step off the ledge, and whoop, you're excited because there's like, oh my gosh, I have new friends and something exciting is happening. I've never been out of my planet. This is amazing. So you jump, but you do find that as you kind of flop down into the liquid, once you hit the muck, movement in the muck, not that big a deal for you. It's kind of like just a very dark water to you. You can't see very well, but you can definitely move around without any problem. While you're seeing other people kind of stuck there going, I can't get out of this. And that's confusing to you.
Weird, strange people.
So I'm going to put that as you guys are going in there to swoop. Did you want to do anything physically?
I'm
or-
just walking over, kind of like, what are you doing?
So as Finney's jumping in and basically goes through the creature, bloop, and then hits the bottom and is just kind of like spinning around in it and having a good time. To swoop, finds the top of the stairs, slowly starts to walk down the stairs, catching an eye with Brucon. I'll be there in a minute. kind of look at you as going down there. So we'll put you guys in the bottom of the initiative order. Actually, and we'll put you. Who's first? Of course. 7. Oh, and a 7, of course. But it is a 7 of spades, a 7 of clubs. So to swoop, you would be ahead of the initiative order of Finney. So we'll go that route. Boom. I like the way these lay out. This initiative order in cards is actually kind of smart. All right. So we are at the top of the order. So the top of the order is Carrington. You are trying to get back on your aphid. That's what's happening. But what would you like to do? It's totally up to you.
Where is Sydney in all this? Is he just like riding around on the
Well,
muck?
it's kind of like I imagine it like when you fall off a jet ski, in a sense. It kind of does that. It automatically turns into a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Jet skis have that in them, kind of training of it's not going, but it's just kind of doing a loop, so that you can kind of find you've trained your aphid well.
So I could probably just jump back on him.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's a little bit difficult to get out of the muck, but I think it'd be decently easy. But once that'll be kind of all your movement, in a sense. All your movement is to get back on the aphid. If you want to do something else, verbally or physically, what would you like to do?
Yes, Lord Carrington is no novice to battle. He knows that if he continues to stab this muck demon, it probably won't do much. So there must be another way to fight it. But I just have to think. Think to your battles of fruits. What did they fear the most? I was going to try like a knowledge battle roll. See if I can figure out some kind of strategy to fight this thing.
I don't know if you've ever battled something of this type, but you're talking about your fruit knowledge.
Yep. It all comes back to fruit.
With you, it does those darn fruits. Yeah, let's do. I mean, you have a knowledge or fighting. I don't know if that would be it.
There is a battle.
Yeah, your battle. So go ahead. Then that's a D6.
Yep.
Yeah. So go ahead and do it. Like you're trying to remember back to the battles while you're climbing up there. How you fought the tomato traders. You know, the ones that they're not quite a vegetable, not quite a fruit, right? So you're trying to think of them because also when you do kill them, they become quite squishy. So I'm thinking, let's go. Yeah, let's do a battle kind of research and roll 2d6.
Righto. I got a 5 and a 2.
Okay, so you're 5, which good success. You know with tomatoes that they don't do well if they get under a certain temperature. You do know that. They're very volatile to temperature. They like a little bit more warm. That's what you're thinking of tomatoes. Like if there's a frost, they don't do so well that year. They're not as mobile. They don't travel as much during that year when it's colder.
And this mud is lukewarm, just like the salsa we make from the trader's blood. So
Do you say this
we
out
must-
loud? Please
Yes.
say this out loud.
And also, something we've been wondering, Lord Carrington does have this kind of deep, commanding voice to other vegetables, but he's tiny to everyone else. So does that sound like a little squeaky
It's
voice
kind of
to
like
everyone?
Alvin. I mean, to you, it's this booming, those treacherous tomatoes, and everybody else can have.
No treacherous tomatoes, I just with the blood of the salsa.
That's what they're hearing.
It's like
Oh, yes. I say this
it's like
out
the
loud.
Doberman from Up.
Yes, but when I'm thinking of it as a scene of sitting there and you're thinking and you get on your aphid like it's you fill the screen. You're up there and you're very those treacherous tomatoes and the lukewarm. Yeah, wait, make salsa with their blood. But then it kind of pans out and the rest of you are hearing it the other one, the other version, the very small voiced version, but it's the exact same words. It's kind of like those scenes in Ant-Man too. You pan out and they're like, little carrot goes bloop. Yes.
So basically, Lord Carrington says, we must freeze the creature. And that will be up to the rest of you because I do not have the capability.
But that's the knowledge you're gonna. Did you want to do anything else besides that? I mean, you're just going through your knowledge in your brain. So that to me wouldn't be a physical action. You're climbing up there and you're going, okay, how can I defeat this thing? Did you want to do anything physically? Because I feel like you could still have an attack move of some sort or something to that point. Or you can do double movement if you want to move your aphid somewhere. I feel like.
It came up like into a form of some sort.
Oh yeah,
right?
and it's think of it like the rearing of a squid head, but and then kind of pointy. There you can tell it's muck though. It's not like it's. You can see that it took Brucon and wrapped him and pulled him in. It's not going to pierce anything. It's mud, so it's not making a solid form at this point.
Well, we're gonna try and free Brucon by attacking whatever is holding him. It's about the only thing we can do because I only brought a lance to this fight.
I enjoy this. Okay, so visually, I can see Brucon being pulled in to the muck, looking at Swoop, hands up, going, "Excuse me, can you hurry? Just a little bit." I mean, it doesn't say it verbally, but kind of like, what is going on? And you see the aphid trying to move towards where Brucon is, and Lord Carrington, slapping the muck with your lance, like whoosh, just smacking it. So it's really not doing anything. It's kind of like when you hit cornstarch, it just turns into a solid. It just goes plap, plap. It's just a smacking sound of like somebody getting smacked in the butt or smacked across the face. Those are the noises you're hearing from behind you, Brucon, as he's trying to free you. I want to look at it that way. Because we found that doesn't do much. All right.
Hold on, Brucon. I shall free you post-haste. Just as soon as I get through the smuck. May take a while.
I'm just imagining the little voice.
Hold on, Brucon.
Use,
I'll get you out of
use your
this muck.
martial arts. Don't you know karate?
So we need a pun counter because that was pun number one of
Making a
of
list.
the show. Okay, it's pun number one. And do remember, let's outside of game just a little bit. We have talked about bennies, and at this point, Brucon, you do have a benny, correct, to use during this session. The other one, I think T4, it wasn't T4 that got the highest roll that time. So he doesn't have a benny. He's not here, but you do have a benny, and that's you can use that to whatever advantage you want, in a sense. If it makes sense to me, I'll let you use it. So yeah, and it's your turn too. So
Okay. So I'm wrapped up in a tentacle of this big muck monster.
Yeah, it's just like it wrapped around you, wrapped around the center of you, and is just like pulling you in, and your bottom feet are just starting to hit the beginnings of where the actual muck starts.
Okay, are my arms pinned,
No.
or is it just like around?
Yeah, it's around your
Okay,
waist.
so I can do like a claw bite attack.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like
Yes.
get off me, mud. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, go for it. What is your claw attack rolls?
Let's see,
There we go. Claws. The melee.
bite is strength plus D4 damage.
That's your damage. So on there, if you're just going for there, I'd say
And it's it's got a hold of me, so
pretty easy to make.
it's not like it can.
Yeah, I don't think
Dodge
you're gonna have
me.
to really like if you hit it or not, because it's right there. Go ahead and roll a strength. And strength for damage, you don't roll the d6. Damage. That's the only time you. I think that's the only time you don't roll your wild die is for damage. So your strength, just roll a d4, and then we'll add. Yeah, strength plus d4. Yeah, roll your d4.
D4. I got a 3.
You do find perches. It's pretty easy to find perches, and when you're doing it, it's almost like you're scooping off the muck, and it scoops off, and it does take a couple seconds for it to kind of reform back on. But as you claw through it, you can see the stuff flying. It's not necessarily damaging it, but it is moving it off of you, so it is slowing down the process of you being pulled in for sure.
So it's probably like getting thinner. Around
Yeah, it's
me,
just
I'd
getting
imagine.
thinner, but it's
If I'm
once it gets
removing
thinner,
material.
it's starting to it's just kind of feeds back from the muck and just starts going there. But it does take a few seconds to come back, so you're slowing it down in a sense of you're stopped in one point because it's kind of thin and it can't pull you all the way in yet. Anything you want to say or
Gotcha.
addition on there?
I don't know, just probably just take a look back at to swoop, because I can't see B anymore, right? Or
Oh,
Finny.
yeah, Finny went in the
She's-
muck. All you saw was
Yeah.
this fish creature stumble kind of off the ledge and do a really bad dive into the muck.
like on her own,
Yep.
on purpose.
Yep, it was on purpose.
And I'm just like,
I looked very excited to jump in if it helps.
I mean, you saw everything because your notice was really high, so you saw everything.
yeah, I'll just like yell a word or something to swoop. Say, if you could get involved at any time that's convenient.
I mean, you got carrot. You like do it all right. Kind of like giggle off. All right, I'll slowly start feeling that shit.
You put the cork in the bottle, put the bottle in the satchel. It's like fine. So to swoop walks a little bit faster. Not a lot. Not even a light, brisk walk at this point. Just less of a saunter. Yeah. And up next, or anything else you want to do on your turn there, Rukon? Okay.
I think that's it.
Next up, that would be Switch.
Okay. Did the Lord Carrington, did you announce about the freezing it thing aloud?
Oh
You
yes.
announced that out loud. Okay. So, and how close am I to Burcon now? I was in front, so I'm still. I'm
You're probably
observing.
he's the furthest of you, Carrington and Brucon. He's the furthest of you three. You don't know where this fish creature went. No idea. And Swoop's, you're starting to notice that it's Swoop. As she's sauntering closer.
Okay. If hearing the Lord Carrington was saying that we needed to freeze it, I would be, yeah, okay, good. Because I had no idea what to do. So I'll try to make my way out of the muck. And then when I do that, if I notice to swoop, I would say, could you move at any other speed besides drunk? And then I would try to see if I could start pushing Brucon out of the muck. Because if I start to push him out, I'm trying to get an idea. Like if I start to push him, we're going away from the big pool? Because I know we're kind of in the middle.
Yeah,
I'm trying to visualize it.
Visualize basically like a large hole. I mean, realistically, it's a very large hole, but it has the steps winding down, so you could walk down into this hole.
Okay.
And as you walk down in that circular fashion on the outside, the muck was towards the bottom, so the more steps you go down, the deeper you'd be into the muck if you're staying on the side, right?
Okay. So then I'm going to smack on my goggles. I'm hoping that I don't get any deeper than I am. Pull up my waders tighter and attempt to get close enough to Brucon to try to push him out and make my way out up as well.
Okay.
Which I guess will be strength.
Yeah, that would be because you're decently close. It's not like you guys are 30 feet apart. We're talking like 5 to 10 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're pretty close up there. So yeah, do a strength.
All right, Marvin. A 3 and a 3.
So you.
How's it happen?
You touch Brucon.
I basically went like this.
You wasted so much. It was all that energy of trying to turn around. And you're pulling up your stuff, and you wasted so much energy getting ready to save Brucon with your goggles and trying to tighten up your waders and going over. And by the time you
get
there,
used to muck. Yeah.
By the time you get there, the stuff that he had clawed off, because it took you a while to get there, has kind of come back. So it made it harder to push. But you're there. You found purchase, and I think you would be at least stopping him from coming in further. But you're also having a problem not getting pulled in also.
Good God, man.
At this point.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it. That's all I can do, I think.
That's all I can do. That's all I got.
How do we freeze it? I'm going to scream. Yes, I said that out loud.
So, how do we freeze it? And
I want to get out of it before we freeze it.
Right. And there's still a fish creature swimming around in it. And I think Brucon would be the one that would really know where this creature ended up, where Finny ended up. The rest of you is like you saw something go in it, and you're like, what the heck? But Brucon's notice was very high. So Brucon did notice a whole creature, jumped into it on purpose. Swoop would definitely know, would have seen the whole thing. And with that going on, it is Swoop's turn in initiative.
I guess we'll walk a little bit faster, but I'll just be like, why are you guys fighting mud? Like, what's wrong with y'all? What are you doing? Just
I love it. I guess I'll move faster.
Yeah. Just like, why are you just
out loud,
like in mud? What's happening? Why? What are you doing?
Anybody want to respond? Brucon's, you're staring. It's almost like you're eye to eye with Swoop at this point.
Does it look like we attacked mud? You see the big head and arms? Attack that.
Oh, like,
Namaste.
I don't know. I'm not used to mud fighting, so I mean, I don't know.
At least help us get out of it.
All right,
Mud fighting.
Maybe throw up on it and burn a hole through it.
Hey, don't tease me. Might be a fun time. I'll help you try to get out. Am I close enough? Did I walk fast enough?
Yeah,
you
I
breathe
mean,
the other way?
it's not that far down there, realistically.
Oh, okay. I was really just taking my sweet ass.
Oh, that's why it's taken you this long to get there, because it wasn't that far, and you were just chilling.
I'll try to help Brucon out, I guess.
Oh, look,
as
the
you're
penny.
and as you're helping him, you see a tiny carrot ineffectively stabbing at the muck, holding Brucon.
I take a second to laugh, and I'm like, "This is really a carrot. You really got a carrot."
Like the actual
Some
size of,
carrot.
like just a decently large carrot. It's like a large carrot, so still very small.
Dressed in plate armor that looks like foil.
I take a bit before helping Brucon and just kind of laugh.
And don't forget you're riding side saddle on a large aphid.
Yep.
Yes.
I gotta know.
Because
Does the carrot
he's a
have
gentleman.
arms? Or
Yes.
Is it just okay? Okay.
Alright. I'm like, alright, sure. I'll help you eat a carrot.
What was that?
Brucon out.
So you just want to try and pull him out? Pull out Brucon?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
while Switch is pushing and making sure that Switch is sliding back, like their feet are being pulled back, but is still being able to hold Brucon in place, and you give an assist to their. Do a strength check on yours, because you're going to try and just
That,
snag onto your. You just grabbing his fur or his jacket. Either one, he's going to get offended.
the jacket.
I'm wearing clothes.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna do
No,
the
just say it. Is
jacket.
it the side, like the tuft of your face, or is it going to be your nice jacket? I don't know.
I'm gonna do the nice jacket because
All right.
it's a D.
D4. Roll a D4 and a D6, and give me the higher one.
Five.
5. Without much problem, you are freeing Brucon. It just seems to dissipate because you go in there and you finally decide to move a little quicker. So you grab his jacket. You think it's pretty funny because you know he doesn't want you grabbing his jacket. So you grab it and you just yank on it, kind of just to be a jerk. But it works. So you might find some of the seams a little loose in your jacket here coming forward there, Brucon, but you are being freed of the muck. Anything else you want to do on your initiative order to swoop?
No, I think that's it. Just kind of laughing at the carrot situation and they're in mud.
It can
Don't
be
see this
distracting.
every day.
Carrots. And the next person in initiative, we're looking at Finny. You are inside of basically dark black water. To you, that's what it feels. Just feels a little thicker than normal, but it's not that big a deal to kind of maneuver around. You do while you're swimming in there. Go do a notice for me. Yeah, roll a notice.
Roll a notice.
Because just because you can't see doesn't mean you don't have other senses, especially underwater.
All right, that would be a wow. The dice do not like me today. 4. What do I notice?
4 is good.
Oh, okay.
You got and people that are new to the system, right? 4 is a normal challenge rating success in this game.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still new.
Yeah, and an amazing one would be an 8. If you rolled an 8, you'd be like, "Whoa, it's almost like a crit in a sense when you double it." But as the die explodes, you can supersede many of those. So that's a great segue for me to say the reason we're going to give out bennies at the end of each game, this will be going forward, I'm going to give them out for the highest roll of the game, and then I'm also going to give it out for the best and silliest role play of the game, and the sillier the better. I'm okay with that. Now, we haven't quite figured out what we're going to do for the pun ticker, but that might come in future episodes. because some episodes they're full of them. This one we only have one thus far. Okay, so you do notice that this doesn't go down very far, because you went in and you can sense the bottom. You know, it's dark, but you can kind of sense it. Because I don't know if you, does your character have like echolocation or anything to that effect? Because I just know as somebody in the water, you can feel like where water kind of stops.
I can't drown, but
right. So
don't see
I'm
anything
just
bad
looking at,
location,
you know,
yeah.
fish know where there's an edge. Otherwise, they would just be hitting their face against land all the time, right? Even if they can't see. So
I'm sure my fingers will like brush.
yeah, so
against
there's
it
a brush, and
slightly
you
or
can kind of
something.
feel that it didn't go down very far, but you do notice that at the bottom there is some sort of structure at the bottom center down there you kind of keep brushing up against, but then you swim back through. It's pretty easy to get through there. There's no solid, doesn't seem to be any sort of solid part of this being that you can sense at all. What would you like to do?
All right. At that point, once I notice how dark it is, I'll swim to the top and try to get a look around for the new people that I wanted to befriend. I mean, the whole point I left home was to make friends and have adventures. And so I'll come back to the surface to get a sense of where everybody else is at.
And you pop up kind of like right next to where the creature seems to have reared out. It's still just muck though, but you're kind of right next to it, and you're seeing Brucon being kind of pushed out. You see Swoop, your new friend, kind of being pulled. Pulling Brucon out as Switch is pushing, and next to all of this, you see an aphid with a carrot on it, smacking the water with a lance.
What an interesting world this is. Are you drowning?
Are you gonna say that? Who are you saying that to?
I'll be saying that to Swoop and
Cool.
and to Swoop's friend, because you know I've definitely seen people drown on my planet a lot. Something I'm used to having to deal with.
Man, I don't know what's happening, but there's a lot of mud. This is weird. You see this carrot?
Wait, a carrot? I was a farmer once. I've never seen a talking carrot. Let me inspect it. At that point, I will try to pick up the carrot.
Aphid and all.
Aphid and all.
And it's a large
I mean-
aphid.
This is fascinating, honestly. Like, I've spent my whole life growing food, and there's food that is moving. Like, where? How did this happen? I can make a fortune.
Wait, what is happening? Why am I being picked up again?
Hello.
And it's happening
What
behind
What are
you,
talking?
right?
You have to roll
You're
for
talking to
initiative,
the
don't you?
butt. Okay, we're back to the aphid butt. All right, you're talking to the butt of the aphid.
I knew that would find its way
it's
back.
yeah, it's easy for you to swim over there. You're like, whoa, what's that? And you go whoop, and you're over there, and you pick it up, and it's the butt of the aphid, a carrot riding side saddle, and still trying to smack the water in front of it.
This is so cool.
What is talking to me? Ah, fish!
It's oh my god, it's speaking. This is bizarre. Guys, do you see this?
Yes, please.
Moving your hands
Is that-
around.
Hold on. If you're doing that,
Oh yeah.
Please
I'm
move into
very-
safety.
If a carrot throws up, what does it look
yeah,
like?
that's what I was just gonna have him
He
roll.
throws up
Um,
Karen 10.
What would that be for him to not get nauseous? Would it be vigor?
Vigor.
Yeah,
Vigor,
do a
vigor.
vigor roll, please.
I'm like Constitution. Wait, wrong game.
I rolled a 3 and a 5.
Okay, so some stuff starts to come up as you're trying to talk and say, what is happening? Why are you? But you don't quite lose your, I don't know, it's not cookies. What have you been eating? Photosynthesis?
I'm not too sure what carrots eat. They
Tomatoes?
drink root beers.
Salsa. We eat a
Clearly
lot
the
of
blood
salsa.
of its enemies.
I think I inadvertently made the fruit and vegetable people cannibals of each other.
Yes, you did.
Like, wait a second, I didn't think this through.
Roll
And
with it.
that's the scene that we're at right now. Is
Yeah.
Finny
I mean,
again? This is the
I don't
second
know
time.
that there's danger. I'm just excited about the world that I'm seeing. So
This will be our second time that we've seen thus far Finny trying to explore and talk to somebody about their new friends while basically hell on Halexian is happening directly behind her. And that's where we'll take like our 5-minute break to come back. So as she's shaking an aphid with a carrot and just trying to have a conversation and everything, and everybody else is trying to run from a huge entity behind them, we will take our 5-minute break. So everybody, we will be back in 5 minutes. We'll see you very soon. All right, everyone.
Back.
I know it's not that tense of a game, but it's good. We left, and now we're back. Let's see what happens. Finny, you are currently holding the carrot and riding an aphid in your hands, having a conversation while basically this planet or you guys are all being drawn into the muck. Anything else you would like to do on your initiative turn?
not on my initiative turn at this point. Hopefully, eventually, my character will notice that there's something not fun but dangerous going on. But in the meantime, I'm just like, this is great. I'm having so much fun. This is a party.
Just happy to be here.
Yeah, honestly.
So on that, we will go ahead and as the Mucky Muck is like, this game doesn't work if you don't play. Do you guys not want to play?
Not if it involves killing us.
Wait,
Yes,
is the
you're
mud
right.
talking?
Yeah,
It is talking.
and you can hear it in your native language. Everybody can hear it in their native language.
Huh.
So it's
Weird mud.
you guys don't want to play? Find the artifact, and I kill you. let's keep playing. And at that point, it turns into a very large. It sucks down. The head comes back down. The tentacles come back in, and all the muck turns into starts swirling in a large whirlpool. Round and around and around. I'd like everybody to go ahead and, you're gonna have to roll a strength on that one. Everybody's gonna have to try and hold in. Finny, hold on. You're holding Carrington, right?
Yes, I have. They're completely out of the muck.
So I'd like you to, Finny, roll an agility. The rest of you would roll a strength because you're already in the muck. You're just kind of swimming in it, so I'd see you'd have to kind of hold on as it starts to swirl. That would be less strength for you.
Do I roll a strength roll as well?
Yeah, yes, yours would be a strength roll because you might fall off your steed and back into the pool. So you're trying to hold on to, you don't know what's holding you, but you know it's better than going in this whirlpool.
No problem.
I roll the 4-sided and the 6-sided, right?
If it's on whatever your strength die is, roll that and a d6, and then pick the higher number of the two.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if the higher number is the highest number on that die, you get to keep that number and roll it again and add it to it. So where are we all at? I'll go with Brucon first. What'd you roll?
2.
Ooh. All right, to Swoop.
But it's a strong 2.
It's a strong 2.
The stoic 2.
Strongest.
If you think this is the time, I mean, don't forget you have a Benny. So it just depends on when you want to use it. To Swoop, you rolled a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Carrington,
Highest is a 4.
4. Switch,
5.
5. And then on your agility, Finny,
That would be a 4.
4. Okay, so successes are on the board except for Brucon. So as everybody's trying to save Brucon,
Who I have a grip on.
they've all got a good purchase on some sort of ground underneath as they're walking. But as they're trying to push and pull you out, you don't. You don't have as much purchase because they're trying to save you when that whirlpool starts. And as it starts, you kind of get sucked in, and you are currently, there's a good pun, currently going past now Switch. You're kind of went past Switch and are being pulled in to the whirlpool, and Finny is kind of catches purchase here. Carrington's holding on, and Finny can see this cat in a nice suit just kind of start to take off inside the whirlpool. Haven't really taken any damage at this point because you were on the stairs, so you're finding a way to stay away from the wall at this point, but you're at the beginning of the whirlpool. So I'd say at this point, though, Brucon, I'm going to make the call that since you got pulled in first, you got caught in the whirlpool, out of everybody, I'd say you're shaken at this point. I mean, that seems pretty fair with the last few rolls that you've had. So we will go back to the top of the order. After that, we're going back to Lord Carrington.
All right. Lord Carrington will address the giant fish creature that's currently holding him and trying to make him throw up. All right. Are you done shaking me around?
Wait. You have thoughts?
What did you think I had? Merely a voice? But enough talk. Do you have freezing capabilities?
No, but I'm good at growing squash and corn.
Ah, so you're an ally. Good. Then you may be able to help. For if we can't freeze this creature, then as it says, we must play its game. I believe in order to end all of this, we must either freeze the creature and make it unable to move, or find this artifact it keeps talking about. You emerged from the muck yourself. Did you see anything down there?
No, but there's some stuff on the bottom.
Stuff on the bottom, you say? Anything artifact shaped?
I could go check. Would you like me to set you back in the muck so I can swim down?
No, I shall accompany you. Sydney, hold on to the fish creature's fins. What is this?
All right, I'll set you down on one of my fins, and then I guess I'll just right there.
Okay, that's.
But we must.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But we must find this artifact in order to save our friends. I'm afraid poor Brucon is going to get mud all over his suit. He hates that.
Just in case there's any chance that Brucon is able to see Lord Carrington now sitting on top of the fish's shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Ha.
and you, because it is you're next in the initiative order anyway. So that's
my action.
That's pretty easy to see because the whirlpool doesn't just like all of a sudden it's spinning. It's kind of gets that slow motion to go, and as you're getting pulled in, they're having this conversation. She puts Carrington on the shoulder, and you are floating away in the muck, but you do see it. And is that when you want to just
Yeah, but I will yell to. Have I ascertained or heard her name spoken?
No.
Do I know it's?
I don't
Finny?
think Finny's said
Okay,
her name
so-
to anyone yet. Honestly.
Okay, but she's
To-
clearly
to
excited
Swoop.
about just
To
being
Swoop,
there,
probably. Yeah, to Swoop's the
and-
only one that
Yeah.
would know Finny's name.
Okay, but she seems keen on helping. I'm just gonna yell, please. If you can find an artifact ish thing, maybe we can end all this quickly.
You hear that, fish creature? Our hope's right on you. So swim, swim as if our lives depend on it. Into the muck.
Just remember in your head.
Swim like our lives depend on it. Swim into the muck.
Swim into the muck. Alas, fish creature, we must go.
It's Ian McKellen in your head, but to everybody else, it's Elmo.
Yep.
Yes. Fact.
Into the mark.
All right. So, and that's Brucon. He's like, you guys aren't doing anything to help me. Do something better. It's like, it's as he's floating away, getting sucked in. It's basically a do better people look on his face. And we will go to next person in initiative order is Switch.
Oh, I get to go. Can I, seeing Brucon drift away from me, can I grab him? Can I grab him?
Brucon is you could.
grab him.
I'd say that would be like an agility, because you'd have to it's going not super fast, but you kind of have to react pretty quick. So I'd say let's do an agility to see if you do find a way to catch, and I'll say those are your two actions: catch and then be able to hold on with strength. So
Okay.
like an agility and then a strength.
Oh, a 6
For
and
agility
and a 3. Yeah,
and a 3 for strength.
yeah.
Okay, so without any problems, you're grabbing. You grab onto Brucon's jacket, already on that loosened seam, and he does see this. Why is everybody grabbing me in the same spot? Kind of moment. So you can see the seam starts to loosen even more on his left shoulder as you grab. But you do hold on to him. But strength-wise, you kind of lose your footing a little bit. So you're both. He's not drifting as quick, but you're both drifting now with the pool about half the speed that Brucon was going at the first. So you're both starting to kind of slide because you can't quite hold on.
Work with me, man.
Glad I paid extra for double stitching.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of quality that I would expect in a
Doesn't
jacket from you,
seem
Brucon.
like- yes.
My resources are limited.
You got okay. Third pun. Yes, and just as a free action flourish, I'd like to yell to the Mucky Muck. Where is this artifact? I will let you kill me for it. And that's my turn.
Ooh, and you do hear a response. Everybody hears a response. Let me kill you? What fun is that? I'm the protector of the ancient. Protect. Who cares? Just come on, let's play. You're finding
I
that
don't get
this
a
the
response, do I?
boredom that you encountered with the Halexians in this city is basically the boredom of this mucky muck. It's just taking it in a whole different direction. I will do anything to destroy other people because to me that's fun, and I don't get a chance to do it very often.
So wait, can I ask a question out of character, even though I know it's not my turn?
It is.
We
it is.
saw this
I thought it was
fish-
your turn.
Still my turn? Yeah, I don't know how many things, how many actions do I get? We saw this fish thing, who I don't know their name yet, go in,
Yes.
come back out, fine. So it's not causing damage. You guys, what if we just let go and let it swallow us? No one likes that idea.
It's
Says the non-breathing thing.
Are
I
you
mad?
mad?
What's the worst that could happen?
We all die. That's the worst thing that happens.
Scooter's like,
I
"Shoot,
love
I
it.
gotta come up with another game.
No, I love it because you guys are having this conversation face to face, you and Brucon, as you're sliding down the muck.
Well, I'm like, holding on. Well, it wants us to play. What if we just sank down in it? Maybe that's what it means. What if there's something else on the other side? And that's probably my 6 seconds of talking.
Do you play any musical instruments? Maybe he just needs to not be bored.
I'll start to whistle. Okay, that's it. Sorry, that's way past my turn.
Brucon's trying to harmonize a little bit. Okay, so there you see them sliding through there, 75, and up in the order to swoop. And after this one, here, just to put this out there, normally we redraw every time. I just wanted to kind of get through some of the communication parts here, and then we'll redraw next one. But go ahead to swoop.
Hey, Scooter. First, real quick, what was the state? I forgot the name of the state that Brucon is in. He's not grappled, shaken. Okay.
Yeah, so you can roll to on your turn. Basically, you can roll to get unshaken, or somebody can basically unshake you by assisting you.
So to be clear, I'm shaken while being stirred.
Yes. Is that the fourth one?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah,
okay
that's,
with this.
I mean, yeah, Jim, you had 3, right? How many
Shaken
did you-
and stirred.
Shaken and stirred.
Like 007 be so confused right now. How can you do both? Yes, and then we are in initiative order. I haven't redrawn the cards. Just for anybody that's doing like Savage Worlds and they're going, Scooter, you didn't redraw every time. I was like, I wanted to get through a few rounds of communication and movement because there's not a lot of attacking going on. So I want to keep a little bit order of that. But normally in Savage Worlds, every time we go back into something in a fighting thing, we redraw, and who knows who's going to be first or second. But we are at Swoop. What would Swoop like to do?
So I just see them just start going, right? They're just.
I mean, you had a hold on Brucon until everything started spinning.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the mud because it's just mud. I don't know why it's just mud. Like why? Like what games do you play in mud? Why? What are you doing?
What games? What games? This is the only game.
Did you know that there's more games?
No, this is my purpose. I protect something. I don't even know what it does, but it's my job.
But what if there's more games than just this? Yeah.
But you're already here. We already started.
It's very good, I guess.
And you can almost see like as the whirlpool's going, like almost a faint grin kind of show up every once in a while inside of the muck.
What?
Come on in. Come on in. And you one of the little tentacle person. Come on in.
I'll start walking into the mud. And I'll walk towards it. I was like, alright, let's play. But it'll kind of be like, maybe kind of my game and not kind of your game.
And that same hand doesn't like embrace you to pull you in, but it kind of goes behind because you're willing and just kind of pats you on the back slowly and like, come on in. Kind of like somebody letting you inside of a door. Yeah. Come on in, let's play. We will have a mucky thumb war.
Yeah, I'll start going towards it. But I will have my grasp. It's mud.
Yeah, and just kind of Swoop's come in decently willing. Brucon's fighting the current with Switch. Switch is having second thoughts, going, oh, okay, I could breathe underwater and muck, so I might as well. So we're at the next person in order would be Finny.
All right, I'm going to follow the instructions of the carrot and swim to the bottom and start, feeling around to see if anything that I brushed against when I first dived in was an actual something.
Well, at this point, then, so are you looking for something down there?
I'm just feeling around, not looking for anything in particular, kind of humoring the carrot.
So just mucking about.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Oh, you killed me.
That. Why is it so easy with you guys? This is. It's like they're handed. You hand them to each other. I don't do any of it. You guys just hand them right to each other.
That's great.
Here's a pun formula. Take it.
That pun was 14 karat gold. It just was.
So, go ahead and do another notice. Check while you're swimming around. You also, because you're on Finney's shoulder, correct, Carrington? So
Holding
you
on
do a
for dear
notice
life.
also.
That is a,
Okay. So
that is a 1.
D4, D6.
On both of them?
Yep. Yep.
All
Can I
right.
lie to you or tell you it wasn't?
You can, but it wouldn't be as funny.
No, no, I
would be
failed. I'm too distracted, okay? Like, this is my, first weekend away from home in ever. And there's a
Critical
talking
fail.
carrot.
First trip ever.
Wow, you're gonna be fun.
A muddy good time.
Yeah.
I did roll a 1 and a 4.
Okay. The issue that you're having is that you can't see, and then the other senses, you don't really have swimming senses, but you are feeling that the current isn't as strong as you guys go down or come back up. You're like, whoa, that's not as crazy. But you are noticing a kind of a rough ride every once in a while being on Finney's shoulder because Finney's getting distracted and is trying to look for stuff, but instead kind of like, ooh, what's this? Ooh, maybe I should go over here. Oh, man, what about last night? What about that mayor guy? Kind of like can't quite focus on what she's looking for and bumped in a couple of walls and those things. But you did notice like the current down when it's lower, it's not spinning as much. That's pretty much all you could notice without sight. And Finny, anything else you want to do while you're swimming around with this carrot?
No, I'm just having a good old time, see if I can find anything. I mean, this is an adventure. This is what I left home for.
You're a good time, gal.
And we are not necessarily outside of combat in a sense. There is an overlying, like, we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to do an initiative order at this point. I think we've kind of gone through enough initiatives to where you guys can kind of, as a group, make things happen, and I'll check back in with you. If we need initiative at one point, we'll go there. But yeah, that's where we're currently at, is Finny and Lord Carrington are underneath the muck. That's what you three, to swoop Brucon and Switch, see. Brucon and Switch are currently being slowly swept away into the current, and Swoop is walking right in. Just walking right in like I'm hanging out in a river. Like it's not even a problem.
We gonna fight. We gonna have a good time.
So what would y'all like, what would anybody like to do at this point?
Not be shaken.
So I think you could just roll to not be shaken, or you can just spend your Benny and you're not shaken. And I think,
Can I help?
Is it spirit to be unshaken?
Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a spirit roll.
So you could just do a spirit roll because it'd be your kind of your turn anyways.
Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll just roll.
Yeah, just do,
Can I assist since I have my hands on his seams or no?
I'm trying to think of the
Massage would be
dynamic
very
of
high.
why he's shaken. He's shaken because he's been pulled into the muck multiple times. And you're trying to tell him to go into the muck. So I don't know if you would be the person that would help him be unshaken. Does that
Mixed
make any
signals?
sense? Yeah, because you're
I'm
going,
sure.
hey, let's just go in the muck. He's like, no, this sucks. It's happened to me every time we've tried something. I'm the one in the muck, and you want me to do it again.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
fair.
what I was thinking. What'd you get?
Okay. Oh, I didn't roll yet. Hang on. I got a 5.
5. Without much problem, you're starting to get a little bit convinced. Like Switch is saying, hey, maybe we should just go into the muck. You were frightened of the muck because it seemed to be only attacking you at first. That was kind of your thing. It was like, everybody else, why is it leaving everybody else alone? And I'm the one that saved T4 and all this stuff, and it's still just attacking me. But now you're finding kind of like, as everybody's kind of working together, that it's not as dangerous or harmful as you first thought. Like, it can't really harm you physically. It can kind of just push you around, and it's trying to push you into things, but you haven't hit a wall, you haven't hit each other, nothing to that effect.
So it's kind of like a slightly dangerous water ride.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Waterworld, like when it was it Waterworld?
Gets dirty.
Yeah, when it first came out.
Mud
Remember when
World.
amusement parks were seriously dangerous?
Yeah.
That was our era.
The good old times.
Yeah, if you're
Yes.
if you're 40 or
People
older,
actually
it's like,
died.
yeah, you sign a waiver, you could die. I wish that wasn't a joke, but it was a thing. So as we go forward, Brucon's not shaken, kind of going, okay, I'll at least humor what you're saying, Switch. I'm not saying he's agreeing because that's up to Jim playing Brucon, but you're at least you know her. You know, well, them. You've known them for well over a year and done travels and those types of things. So there's some trust between you two. What would anybody else be doing at this point?
A Switch is going to, in that moment, look at Brucon, let go, adjust their goggles, and say to Brucon, I think I have an idea. And like give way to all the muscular control I have to try to fight the muck and see where it takes me.
So she's Switch. They are defining a swirl with you. So they're so Brucon and Switch are kind of swirling around the top.
Yeah.
To Swoop is just kind of getting her feet wet, as we say, just getting in there and starting to do this, not quite into the current yet, but slowly walking in. Still not much more of a Saunders, like, I guess I'll hang out. Walking
Swoop,
in.
let's go. And I haven't seen Finney like barely at all, so I have not really seen the exchange between Carrington and Finney at all. I've
No,
been so
you saw
preoccupied
Finney
by
come up,
Brucon.
shake Carrington, and then they left.
Yeah.
So you think
He's
he
not a
just?
snow globe, okay?
So you think she just took our carrot? Oh look, carrot, and then left.
You
A
big
snack for
carrot
my
nap.
travels.
And
That's farmer market.
This completes my diorama.
we can't make this stuff up, really.
Yet we are. That's the funny
Maybe
part.
we are in a snow globe. Maybe that's what's happening.
Just shake everything. But that's what's going on down there. Are you still searching for stuff or just humoring Lord Carrington, Finney?
I'm gonna wait till the carrot seems satisfied with my work, because honestly, this is just a great moment for me. I've never seen a talking vegetable. I've been working with vegetables forever, so I want to make this vegetable happy.
So I'd say, are you trying to talk to the carrot underwater?
I'm
Under
following
mud.
this- Under mud.
Under,
yeah. Yeah, I'm just like pick up a rock. Oh, this is what we're looking for, right? Right? No? Oh, okay. What about this rock? Very cool.
And Carrington can't see anything at this point. You can understand each other somewhat because you're a farmer, right, from where you're from. So you at least Finny would understand how to talk to a carrot. I know that's a reach, but it's kind of like people that sing to their plants. Like,
Oh yes.
you're
all
very
day.
like that, and very like you understand the plants, and so you guys, it's not like a perfect communication, but you can at least understand each other's intentions. And when you say that, Carrington can't see anything at this point. What you're holding, where he's at, nothing.
Good soil, nice nutrients.
So at that, yes, what would you be doing, Lord Carrington? Let's do it
So
that way.
can Carrington sense that the fish creature is just trying to humor him?
Can you sense it? I guess there'd be some tone involved, even though there's a language barrier of some sort. Yes, do a notice.
Righto.
Yeah, let's try and notice. I think notice would work for that one.
4d6. Ooh, 1 and a 3. 3 being the highest.
You think she knows everything about the stuff that's going on down here, like what is a rock, what's an artifact, how to get in and out of here. Your trust is building. Like, hey, this fish really wants to be my friend, wants to show me everything, wants to find exactly what I want, totally on your side, thinks just like you, according to you.
But no, they are holding a rock.
But yes,
want
they're
to be
holding a
friends.
rock. They're showing you a rock, so you believe it. Oh, it's a rock, but it could be
I-
an artifact.
Got it. I'm going to try and communicate to Finny that if she finds, or he, or I'm not exactly sure, doesn't matter. But I'm trying to convince them that if they find this artifact and actually put some effort into finding the artifact, we shall be allies for life, as you already grow vegetables. And that puts you in my good books.
And I will also want to do a notice for Finny. Do a notice check on the rock itself.
How about a 6? What does that do for me?
Well, I just want to know, did you feel like you knew it was a rock, or you thought it was an artifact, or...
I reached for whatever was closest to my hand. 'Cause
Perfect. Okay.
I don't know exactly what he's looking for.
And you realize your notice is going, this is not a normal rock. It's not shaped like a rock. It's shaped kind of like has a pointed end, and has like 4 little spots on the, not spots, but little projections from the bottom of it, and then it goes to a point, and you're like, it's a weird shaped rock for you to be calling it whatever you're thinking it is. And at that point, I'd like everybody that's gonna be everybody is going to have to do a strength check at this point.
Righto. Nice.
Do it.
Oh man.
Just know that we are approaching 3 p.m. Pacific time, and you haven't used your Benny, Brucon.
I rolled Benny.
So
I shoot.
I rolled a 6 and a 6.
on
I rolled
what
a 1 and a 1.
die? What die though?
6 on the D8, 6 on the D6.
Okay, so the 6 on the D6, you can roll that again and keep that 6. So keep rolling
Awesome.
the D6 again, and then
Rolled
add
a
it
2.
to the 6. So
So
you roll an 8.
total.
All right. Brugon's going to use his Benny, so I'll get rid of top right.
Miraculous hand of luck.
So I'll just give you instead of a reroll, I'll just give you an automatic success. Because what did you roll?
2.
Okay. Because I don't think you can use bennies on
Critical
failures.
fails.
On ones. I don't think you. The rules say that, but
Yeah, that wasn't a critical failure.
I
It
can.
was just
I can
a
change my
regular
mind.
failure.
But so I'll just give you an automatic success and take away the Benny. You're using the Benny to do that. You have an 8 for Carrington. To swoop for strength, what did you roll? What'd you get? What's up?
16.
16.
Holy
Oh, the
crap.
6 3 times.
Isn't
It's
this
like-
that's the same? You got a 16 last time on a D6.
I have
Holy
my
cow.
lucky 6-siders today.
Okay, so I mean, like your
Apparently.
D6 is your friend,
Apparently, I
yeah.
am in shooketh mode. but-
and switch.
I got a 1
I'm sitting there like,
Oh.
and a 1.
Oh,
all right,
But
hey guys.
I was also not fighting it, so bring it.
yeah, and Finney,
I got an 8.
which is decently fitting, but what is occurring right now is the whirlpool has sped up like crazy fast. Right after you picked up that rock, the whirlpool starts just spinning like crazy and starting to come down. It's draining. You basically pulled the plug on the bottom in a sense.
Wonderful.
And you can kind of realize that. You realize that. Carrington probably realized that. The rest of y'all is like, what the living crap? What is happening right now? We're being flushed.
No.
And as it comes, it just keeps swirling down, and more dry surface starts showing up on the steps. I'm gonna go ahead and say you take some damage there, Switch, because of the 1. So you're going to be also taking a hit, slammed up against the side, hit a step, and then is laying on dry muck-ish ground, and is currently shaken. We'll put you in a shaken state. The
Got
rest
it.
of y'all seem to be swimming okay and doing quite well. To swoop, for some reason, just keeps walking down the stairs. As the whirlpool just seems to like follow her down the stairs and almost like clean up the steps as she's walking down, and it just kind of drains as she's walking down the stairs. Everybody else does okay. They're a little bit like bumped up and maybe a little scrapes and stuff, but not with Swoop, just chilling, walking down the stairs as it drains. And at the bottom, all of you see Carrington and Finney there. Carrington's probably in your hand, in one of your fins or your hands at that time, because it's kind of showing the rock and all that stuff. Standing there. Where would you like to be, actually, Carrington? Where would you like to be on Finney? On the shoulder, back on the shoulder, in her hand? What would you like to do?
During that whole thing, I probably would end up in a hand.
Okay.
On
So,
top of Sydney.
Side saddle.
Yep.
side saddle in a hand, next to the aphid, which is turned around again. So all you can see is the aphid's butt. And you see the aphid's butt. You see Carrington kind of sitting off the side there. And Finney standing there with something that looks kind of mucky, but it looks almost exactly like the tower that's over top of this here, but in a small form.
Is that? Ha! You did it, fish creature! You won the game!
Cool. Fun game that was. Yes.
We only accomplished it through pure dumb luck.
It's a good party. Yeah, guys.
Did you guys see the talking carrot?
Stop it! Stop
Sorry.
it! Oh
sorry.
Lord!
Careful,
Sorry.
you're gonna make him hurl again.
Sorry.
And
sorry,
Switch and
sorry.
Brucon know Carrington. Swoop has not seen this carrot yet.
I'm still laughing. It's like, ooh, carrot.
Who's
the
this?
carrot?
Yeah. Who's this carrot?
Why does everyone say that when they meet me? Is it so strange? to you that I'm a talking carrot?
You're the first talking one I've ever seen, and I've been working the field since I was 4.
And you're the first talking fish I've ever seen, but I don't point it out, fish creature.
Flap my little ears. Interesting.
And you, who are you? You seem oddly drunk.
Well, maybe someone spiked me, but you're a talking carrot.
There's really nothing
I
I
don't
can say.
I don't know, but
Apologies, Lord Carrot, or Lord Carrington. I think most of us suffer from a certain amount of sizist tendencies. Because you are quite a bit smaller, we tend to think less of you. It's something that will take some training for our new friends here.
I hope so. I don't like feeling small. On my planet, everything just makes sense, but over here, we fight giant sentient piles of mud.
Well,
And
at least you're not a slug creature.
Yeah, to that point, let's get off this planet. It is the most boring civilization I have ever had the displeasure of meeting.
Oh, can I go with you? I'm kind of trying to adventure a little bit, but somehow I picked the worst planet to adventure on.
They're all the worst planet.
Don't listen to him. He's a touch surly. I
But-
think your assistance would prove very useful.
Wonderful.
I agree.
on here, the database that you are accessing, Switch, with the information that Jace has researched, you are finding the similarities of the specs of the jump portal. You're finding similarities to those specs of the jump portal that coincide with basically the visual seeing what's in Finney's hand. You're seeing like similarities. You're not saying, "Oh my gosh, that's the portal." It's an artifact, or it's basically like a souvenir size of the tower that's above you. So you can definitely tell that that's kind of what he was describing, but on a much different scale. The technology was the same.
I'll relay that to the group, so they know what we know, what I know, what we know.
And
That
there
is-
is, yeah, and there's runes, there's like glyphs, and there is writing on there in a language that you would none of you would understand or
Could-
be able to comprehend. You know, it's an ancient language.
Could
Is it
I
true?
scan it and send it to Jace
Yes,
for
absolutely.
translation? Okay,
Absolutely.
I will. Switch would do that.
Is it
And-
German?
It's
Why is it always in German?
Well, it sounds like a Hummel.
Ich
Those
bin,
little statues that people
Yeah.
collect.
I mean, no. I mean, I know, but Switch doesn't know. Ich bin ein Berliner.
so that's you're noticing in there. So you do scan it. You send off the information. The problem with the communication with Jace is basically you have to drop it in certain places. It's not a you have to go get the information on different planets. You guys have established places where he'll put this information, and you have to kind of do the same. Upload it to these places because you're so far away from other places. It's not like you can go Wi-Fi across the universe. So you
Wait,
actually
we have technology, but we don't have that technology.
yeah, you can't.
What?
You can't phone anybody across
Get
the
me
universe.
off this planet.
So you have to drop. Yeah, you have to like data drop and then be picked up by couriers and those types of things. But you are finding the glyphs on the side of there, and everything has kind of drained inside. There's some muck left, but nothing sentient in per se. But you are knowing that is kind of the relationship through the jump to the jump portal. and we are
Is there-
going to. Yeah, go ahead.
There's no sense that we like actually like damaged or killed this thing. It's just that it
Oh, you
kind
don't
of,
know.
like,
It's just
got
it's not there
sucked
at this
down.
point.
It's
Yeah,
gone.
it went down the drain.
Okay. But there's no sense of like ow, right? It was just sort of
Nope.
like whoop.
Just not there anymore. And realistically, at the end, you there's I want to put out there's a confusion of whether it was trying to kill you and was really bad at it, or it was just trying to mess with you, or it was trying to give you this artifact. There's just a lot of confusion there. And I'd like before we end today's session, I want all of you to roll a notice.
My highest is a 3.
Better than me. I got a 2.
7.
7.
Both 2 6-sided, right?
Casual 7.
Well, it
Plus
depends on
our
what your notice
6,
is.
right? Plus our 6.
Yeah, whatever your notice die is, and a 6.
Okay.
D6 with that.
Oh, so we add them?
No, you don't add them. You just take the highest of the two.
Okay.
Two.
So I got a 4 then.
Okay, so who got a 4 or above? Okay, so Brucon and Switch. You do notice, because you're at the bottom now, it's not super deep, but it's deep enough to where you're not going to notice everything. You do see 2 similar creatures, humanoid, looking down in a sense with some sort of eyewear, folds it back and looks to each other, and they exchange some words. And did anybody have, what was the highest roll?
At a 7.
Yeah.
A 7? Okay, so I'm just saying that whoever has the highest roll will
It was a 4.
understand what one of them says to the other one, and it is basically like, looks like it's begun. And then they turn and walk away. And that's how we're going to end our session today. So yes,
Dun dun dun.
we got, and this there it's called Artifact Envy, which is very funny that towards the end of this episode was called Artifact Envy, because we had the big tower and the artifact was going to be a small replica of that. So it was kind of Artifact Envy, but I thought it was really funny towards the end that you related that to Carrington there, Brucon, was his size not mattering. So I was like, oh yes, this worked out well. So
I'm moving in.
Oh, unlike this tower, I am not compensating for something.
but thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for playing. Thanks for hanging out and watching. If you're watching from home or wherever you're at, I don't know. Hopefully you're doing something awesome.
Thank you for running.
Yes. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for coming back and playing Ryza and playing Valerie. This has been a blast, and we will be playing next week. I know I haven't even talked to these guys about that, but we will do that off camera. We will be back next week doing this game. We just don't know who's all going to be here yet. It depends on what the fate decides. So I'm excited about this. This is going to be very fun for me.
Yeah.
This is fun for me. So, okay, guys. Between today and next Sunday, if you're watching, or everybody that's playing, do something fun. Play a game together. Until then, pull up a chair and make time to tabletop.
To tabletop.
Yes. You know, after 3 years, I'm getting worse at the segues. Talk to you soon. All right, guys.
Come on, that's our thing.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.